My beloved child, hear me now. A war has just ended in the heavens, a fierce and fiery battle waged not over thrones or crowns, but over you, your destiny, your calling, your future. You may not have seen it, but the clash was real. Every moment of doubt, every delay, every closed door you faced lately, that was the enemy moving in the shadows, working overtime to bury your voice, your purpose, your very identity in silence. But I stepped into the war. I did not sit back. I tore the verdict to pieces. Yes, the sentence that was written against you in the unseen realm has been shattered. What they declared over your life in whispers, failure, loss, insignificance, I have overturned. The chains that had quietly wrapped around your future, the ones that made you feel stuck, lost, paralyzed, they're broken. Not cracked, not weakened, broken beyond repair. But hear this and hear it clearly, this victory is fragile. You are standing at a threshold, and the next few seconds matter more than you realize. The enemy doesn't rest. He is already rewriting his attack, already crafting a new deception, a new distraction, a new delay. All he needs is for you to click away, to walk off, to dismiss this moment as coincidence. That's how he wins. That's how the decree begins to rewrite itself, not with a roar, but with a whisper of indifference. So I need you to stay. Don't scroll, don't move, don't second guess. Stay right here. Not for an hour, not for a minute, 10 seconds. Because in those 10 seconds, I will show you something that will shift your spirit. Proof. Not poetry, not vague comfort. Evidence that your liberation has already begun. This isn't just a feeling, it's a divine interruption. You've been sensing something, haven't you? A pull, a pressure, a storm behind your eyes that you can't explain. That wasn't just stress or fatigue. It was the tension of heaven and hell wrestling over your breakthrough. And you made it here. That means the darkness didn't win. That means you're still chosen, still called, still on heaven's radar. But your agreement is required. Your attention is the key. If you walk away, the ink starts drying on the wrong script. But if you stay just a little longer, you'll see that what you thought was a delay was actually divine timing. You'll realize that this message is not random. It's rescue. So here's your moment. Stay. Watch. Believe. 10 seconds. And everything changes. You've carried loneliness like a coffin, haven't you? Heavy. Cold. Unseen by most, but always there, pressed tight against your chest, tucked just beneath your smile. You've laughed in rooms where you felt invisible. You've shown up strong while crumbling quietly inside. Nights have passed where your only companion was the sound of your own thoughts echoing back at you. You've whispered prayers in the dark, voice trembling, heart breaking, hoping for even a flicker of divine response, only to feel those prayers bounce back from the ceiling like they were never heard, like they never mattered. But hear this, I heard every word. And today, this moment, I've done what the enemy swore would never happen. I have dismantled the spiritual barricade that was blocking your voice. That invisible wall, the one that made you feel like your prayers were empty, like your worship was wasted, like heaven had turned its face away from you, it's gone. Your voice now carries power. Your words now pierce straight through the heavens like arrows tipped with fire. Heaven is not distant. It's listening. But child, understand this. The enemy is furious. That wall wasn't there by accident. It was built, brick by brick, through your pain, your disappointments, your unanswered questions. And now that it's been destroyed, he will do everything to rebuild it. Stronger, thicker, heavier. And it only takes one moment of walking away. 1 second of tuning out. One casual scroll to somewhere else. That's all it takes for him to lay the first brick again. And once it starts, the silence comes creeping back. The loneliness, the confusion, the sense that maybe you were never meant to be heard in the first place. Don't let that happen. Stay with me, because what you've been crying out for, what you've been begging for when no one was around to hear you, is right here, hidden in the next few words. Not in the distant future. Not in some far-off miracle. It's now. It's unfolding even as you read this. But it's delicate. It's like catching lightning in your hands. If you turn away too soon, it slips through your fingers and vanishes into the void. You've come too far, survived too much, endured too long to let this moment pass. This isn't just another message, it's the turning point you've been praying for. The tears, the silence, the aching loneliness, they weren't wasted. They were seeds. And now the ground is shaking. The answer is rising. But only if you stay. So stay. Hold on. Let heaven finish what it started. In exactly 3 minutes, a door opens. Not just any door, your door. The one you've been praying for in silence, aching for in secret. A door that leads to financial provision, where the weight of lack and limitation lifts. A door that opens into healing not just for your body but for your mind, your spirit, and every wounded place you've learned to live with. A door that leads to reconciliation, with others, with yourself, and maybe even with God. This isn't symbolic. It's real. It's already swinging on its hinges. But here's the part most people miss. You're not the only one counting down. The enemy is counting too. He knows what's about to happen. He's known longer than you have. And he's terrified. So he waits, watching the clock with wicked precision. 3:00, 2:59, 2:58. Every second that ticks by brings you closer to your breakthrough and closer to his loss. Because once that door opens, everything changes. Chains break. Cycles end. Generational curses snap in half. And he knows it. That's why he's lurking now, whispering distraction into your spirit, nudging your thoughts to wander, tempting you to scroll, to move, to say, maybe this isn't for me. That's how he wins. If you skip ahead, if you leave, he seals the door. Not permanently, but painfully. He won't just close it, he'll bar it with everything he's got. He'll stack fear, doubt, and delay against it until you wonder if it was ever real in the first place. But hear me, it is real. It's so real that heaven has assigned angels to guard this moment. Every second you stay, heaven responds. Every second you stay, angels stand at the threshold, swords drawn, wings spread, holding back the tide of hell's fury. They're holding space for you right now, for your promise to arrive. The atmosphere around you is shifting. It might not look like it yet, but the ground beneath your spirit knows what's coming. You can feel it, can't you? That stirring in your chest? That tightening in your heart? It's not anxiety, it's anticipation. It's your soul leaning in. You're 3 minutes away from a divine collision. But collisions only happen when two forces meet, so you have to be here when the impact comes. If you leave, you miss it. If you stay, you walk through the door while the enemy watches, defeated, silenced, powerless to stop it. This is more than a countdown. It's a covenant. So keep your eyes here. Breathe through the tension. Don't let the enemy steal what's already on its way. 3:00, 2:40, 2:20. Heaven is moving. Are you still here? Last week you wept over barrenness. Not just physical emptiness, but spiritual, emotional, relational. You looked at your life and saw a field with no fruit. You felt dry, depleted, and forgotten. You cried not just out of frustration, but from a deep ache in your soul. Why is nothing growing? Why is everything I touch still lifeless? You've prayed, fasted, tried to believe, and still, it felt like heaven was silent and the soil of your life was resisting every seed you sowed. But child, while you were weeping, I was working. Today, this very moment, I have planted seeds of breakthrough inside you. Seeds that carry restoration, provision, purpose. Not tiny wishes, but divine blueprints encoded with everything you need to shift seasons. You didn't see it happen, but it's done. Something sacred has been buried in the soil of your life, and it is already beginning to press toward the surface. The barrenness is breaking. The drought is over, or at least it can be. But listen closely, droughts come swiftly. The enemy knows how delicate the seed stage is. He knows your miracle is vulnerable right now, still underground, still forming, still unseen. That's when he attacks hardest. His strategy isn't to scorch the full tree, it's to destroy the seed before it breaks ground. And he doesn't need a storm to do it. Just your distraction. Just one moment of walking away. If you abandon this message too soon, the locusts swarm in. They descend not with noise, but with numbness, with busyness, with doubt that says, maybe I was wrong. Maybe nothing's changing after all. That's all it takes. And suddenly the harvest you were just starting to believe in gets devoured. Not because it wasn't real, but because it wasn't protected. But here's the good news. I won't let that happen without giving you a weapon. If you stay, I will teach you the 3 words that safeguard your blessing. Not a mantra, not a magic trick. A spiritual principle that, when spoken with faith, seals the seed and shields it from every demonic wind. These 3 words are simple, but they carry the weight of heaven. They are what causes angels to draw their swords and storms to pass over your field untouched. You are this close to watching the first sprout of breakthrough pierce the ground. But you have to protect it now before it's visible. That's what faith is, watering what you cannot yet see. So don't move. Don't scroll. Don't dismiss this. You wept in barrenness. Now fight for the blessing. Stay with me a little longer, and I'll hand you the words that keep the locusts out and the rain pouring in. Stay. The soil is ready. The harvest is near. You've asked the question in the quiet of your heart, why do the ones I love hurt me the most? You've stood in the wreckage of relationships that were supposed to be safe. People you trusted turned cold. People you sacrificed for walked away without explanation. Some didn't even betray you loudly, they just drifted, and you were left holding the silence like a dagger in your back. And you keep asking yourself, what did I do wrong? You've replayed the conversations, blamed yourself, tried to fix things that weren't yours to fix. But child, you didn't do anything wrong. What you're feeling isn't random. It's a strategy. The enemy has been planting landmines in your relationships. Not because you're weak, but because you're dangerous to him. He couldn't take you out with failure. He couldn't crush you with fear. So he changed his strategy. He turned people against you. He whispered into hearts that should have protected you. He sowed seeds of offense, insecurity, pride, and misunderstanding. And then he stepped back and watched the chaos unfold. Why? Because he knows something powerful. Whoever holds your heart has access to your destiny. But I'm not letting this go unchecked anymore. In 30 seconds, I'm going to expose the enemy's plot. I'm going to show you what's been happening behind the scenes. Why that person shifted. Why that friend turned. Why the relationship that felt heaven-sent ended in confusion. And yes, the truth will sting. It will feel like a punch to the chest. But what's exposed can be expelled. And what's revealed can finally be healed. But if you skip this moment, if you scroll away before the unveiling, the trap stays hidden. The cycle repeats. You'll keep walking into emotional ambushes, wondering why it always ends the same way. And the enemy? He'll keep sharpening his arrows in the background, aiming them through the people closest to you. Don't give him that chance. Stay, and I won't just expose the trap, I'll arm you with the sword to sever it. I'm not talking about revenge or bitterness. I'm talking about discernment, spiritual clarity, and the boldness to cut off access to your peace where needed. I will hand you a word that dismantles manipulation, a prayer that disarms betrayal, a truth that breaks soul ties and shuts the enemy's voice out of your relationships for good. Because your heart is holy ground, and I'm reclaiming it. So stay, just for these next moments. Let the truth rise. Let the light hit what's been hiding in the shadows. The trap is real. The pain was planned. But the sword is ready. This time, the enemy loses access to your heart. Your anxiety? It's not yours. It's a spirit clinging to your spine, whispering lies. I've just severed its hands. But it's reattaching, one finger at a time. Stay and I'll burn it away. Leave and its grip tightens eternally. The healing I've ignited in your body, it's time sensitive. Close this video and the fire dims. The chronic pain returns. The depression thickens. But hold still, my glory is flooding your cells as you watch. At this exact moment, angels deliver 3 divine gifts: a job offer, a restored bond, a supernatural cure. But they're instructed to retreat if you click away. Stay. Let my voice anchor you. In 60 seconds, you'll feel their arrival. Child, the next 10 seconds determine your next 10 years. Close this, and the storm ahead will leave you homeless in spirit. But stay, and I'll crown you with unshakable peace. Then, choose. Now, you stayed. This is your sign. The heaviness lifted. The door open. Share this message with 3 who are drowning, and watch me part seas for them. Tap like to seal this covenant. Subscribe, your breakthroughs are just beginning.